international students. In this session today, I will be telling you about having the ideal Sheffield Hallam journey. So we want you to have a fantastic time in Sheffield Hallam. But more importantly, we want you to complete the course that you've come here to complete and to fulfill your dreams. Now, in the next half an hour or so, I will be talking about how you make this a reality. But I will also show you what happens if things start going, not going to plan, you know, if you've got interruptions. So you'll be able to see what happens to your academic journey and how much more difficult it becomes. So, this is the ideal Sheffield Hallam journey for your courses. I appreciate that maybe here we've got some exchange students, so not all of this information will apply to you. But if you've come here to do a full-year master's course, or even if your course is slightly longer, you will follow a schedule which you will need to adhere to. So what you've got is September 2023, this is now. Trimester 1 of your study is starting. You're at the very beginning of your studies. Okay? You will have 12 weeks of lectures. You will have seminars. You will have self-study, 12 weeks. And after that, in December and in January 24, you will have the exam period of trimester 1. So it's either exams or written assignments. And a lot of you will not have exams, you'll just have assignments that you need to submit. Okay? And then in February, or end of January, February 2024, trimester 2 will start. Okay? And again, 12 weeks of study, lectures, seminars, self-study, assignment preparation, and then in April, May, you're going to have the trimester 2 exams and submission deadlines. And then we've got trimester 3, which for most of you will be your dissertation period. Okay? This is the trimester, the 3 months in which you will be doing your research and writing your dissertation. And you submit that dissertation normally in September 2024, so about 12 months from now. Your results are then ratified by the university about October time, and in November you get to attend graduation. If everything's gone to plan, you get to walk across that stage with a huge smile on your face, or your family mostly in the audience, or your friends clapping along, congratulating you. So this happens in November. For those of you who've come to, because they want to apply for the graduate immigration route visa, come January time your visas will be expiring, yeah? And you'll be then applying for the graduate immigration route visa because you have completed everything, the university has reported your completion to the Home Office, and you can continue on your with the next step of your journey. Okay. Now, when things go wrong, and this is what we mean, when things start going wrong, you start failing, maybe assignments, maybe you don't attend exams, something gets in the way, and this is what happens to your journey. Okay? So perhaps the first half of the journey appears to look exactly the same as the ideal journey. You attend your lectures and seminars, but if you don't attend regularly or you don't engage with the assignments, you miss the opportunity to pass that module or that exam first time round, okay? Which then means you will have to do a resit. If it's an exam, you have to resit it again, literally have to go and do it again. or you'll have to do a referral if it's a written piece of work. And you do these things literally at the end of trimester 2 for trimester 1. Okay, so if you've got referrals or resits in trimester 1, come May time, you would have to do those resits and referrals then. Okay, if you, however, have resits in trimester 2, those will be due in August when you're doing your dissertation, so you'll see how that gets. Your attention will have to be divided because you'll be doing more than one piece of work then. And if then that impacts on your dissertation and the quality of the work you submit, then that will mean you've got a referral on your dissertation, okay? And look when that falls. The deadline for that is in January 2024. So you will miss your graduation. You won't be able to attend because you will not have graduated. And you most likely may also miss on applying for the graduate immigration route visa because your results will not be ready, okay, for the application. So, it is therefore our utmost wish and desire that you actually have the ideal journey, which is this one. Okay? Yeah? That you actually have the ideal journey and you don't have to have the interruptions of the resits, the reassessment, the referrals halfway through your academic year, because then that becomes really, really stressful. Okay? So just to remind you, and you will get to know this because in your course induction, you'll get introduced more closely to the academic regs. But when you do a module of study, so your course is broken up into modules, most of you will have at least 6 modules, 3 or 4 in trimester 1, 3 or 4 in trimester 2, and then you've got the dissertation. If you fail an assessment or the exam associated with that module, you have to do it again, so you've got one other attempt, okay? So that's the referral, but if you fail the referral as well, then you've got to retake the whole thing, and it normally takes place in the next available opportunity. So in most cases, you will have to extend your visas to do that. So recapping, your course is broken up into modules. When you do a module, you have an exam or an assessment once. If you fail that, you get referred. If you fail it a second time, you've got to re-register and do the whole thing again, okay? You literally have to go and attend the teaching for that module again. You pay for the module again, and you get another 2 attempts to pass it. That normally triggers a visa extension application, but in some cases, if you're not eligible for a visa extension, you've got to do it in your current visa, and then again that impedes or impacts on your ability to progress to the graduate immigration route visa. So, how do we get to do this, to have this ideal academic journey in Hallam? What do we think we need to do to ensure that we have this journey? Any quick ideas? What might it involve? Come on, you know why you're here, so what might it involve? Focus, excellent. Dedication. Yeah.
Determination.
Determination. So these are all good attitudes and values, but in physical behavior.
So I think you just need to attend your lectures.
Studying, attending. Full marks for that. Attending. What else?
They don't Don't joke with attendance.
Not just being present physically, but actually being concentrating and participating, fantastic, or engaging fully with the material. What else?
Prayer.
Teamwork, okay. What else? Time management. Yeah, we said education. How about, I did talk about exams and submissions. What do you need to do? Knowledge. You have to study, but beyond study, what else do you need to do to pass an exam, for example?
Hard work.
You need to turn up for the exam. You need to actually attend the exam. You'll be surprised how many students miss exams. Okay, how about submissions? If you've got a written piece of work you need to submit, in order to pass it, what do you need to do?
Submit on
You
time.
need to submit it on time. Well done. So you get the idea of what you need to do. You've got to take your studies very seriously and prioritize your studies. Okay? So the first thing is about attendance, engagement, and preparation. Okay? You will be told later on in this orientation program that your attendance is monitored, okay? It is a condition of your visa that you attend your lectures and seminars in the university, and that you also submit your assessments and go to your exams. Now, every time you say you miss one of those, that is recorded. Okay, and it might impact on your visa. But even if you forget about your visas, you're more likely to pass an assessment or to pass a module if you actually attend. So attend the lectures, attend the seminars, log your attendance on Study Goal. This is something that my colleagues will introduce you to, but every time you attend, you log the attendance that you've been in that session. You do need to prepare. So for you to benefit from the attendance, from being in the classroom, you need to have prepared for that session. So we use Blackboard, which is our virtual learning environment. All the lecturers and module leaders and the tutors will be publishing guidance on Blackboard. They might give you some tasks you need to complete before the next session. Make sure you prepare so that when you attend, you will benefit from that attendance. In most cases, it may help you with your assignment work, assignment preparation. It will definitely help you understand what's expected from you in order to pass the module. Participate actively. I think it was this gentleman who said, not just be present, don't be present playing on your phone, okay? But actually engage with what's being taught. Engage in the group work that the tutors might have asked you to do. Contribute your opinion, share your experience, and in that way, more of the knowledge will be embedded, so you'll be able to do your assignments more easily. Always ask questions if you're not sure what's expected of you. So we often see students make submissions of coursework. I mean, you look at the submission and you really want to pass it and to say, okay, they've done this work, but actually they've not met the assignment criteria. So they've written something, but it's not what we've asked them to do to demonstrate the learning from the module. So if there's something you don't understand, you don't know what's expected from you, you must always ask, so you're absolutely clear. So that's the first step, attend. Turn up, okay? The second step is around developing your academic skills. Now, we do say that, for example, when we talk about academic English, academic English isn't anybody's first language. You know, we all have to develop skills of how to write for university. Now, a lot of you will have been in academic environments which are very different from the UK. There's nothing shameful about that. It might appear a bit scary at the beginning, but there's loads of help available. So make sure that you know what your strengths and weaknesses are. You have been asked to do a kind of self-evaluation by our skills centre before you arrived here. If you haven't done it, take it now, and it will show you which areas of your skills you need to develop further. Okay? Enhance your academic skills by attending the skills sessions in the library. We've got a fantastic skills centre, a centre with loads of webinars. We've got online information that you can use readily in your own time. Whenever you've got half an hour, you can look at their content, you can develop skills like that. You can attend a live webinar, which is very suitable for international students. Sometimes, you know, it's more difficult to just be present, to move from place to place, but these webinars are online, okay? You get to see a tutor who is doing a workshop with you. You've got the opportunity to ask questions, and in this way you learn. Use your academic advisors. So you will get introduced to academic advising as part of the orientation. Go to that session, find out what that is, and make use of your academic advisor. You've got a nominated person, an academic in the university, who is there to support you academically on your academic journey. So again, if there are things about your course you don't necessarily understand, you have asked your course leader or a module leader and you're still struggling, don't understand it, speak to your academic advisor. They're there for you. Okay? Now, often in modules, you will get something called a formative assessment. A formative assessment is literally they're asking you to submit a piece of work which is not assessed. Okay? It's not assessed. I mean, it's not, the mark you get does not contribute to the final mark on your module, but then the module leader will give you feedback and will say, this is spot on, this is exactly what you want, you've done a great job. And they might say, well, actually, no, you need to look back at what we requested, and these are the things you need to work on to make sure that you get a good mark on this module. Now, what percentage do you think of students use that opportunity when they said, submit this piece of work for some formative feedback? What percentage do you think of students actually use that opportunity? Any guess?
67%.
67%? Yeah, good guess. I'd go lower. 40, 60. I'd say about 20% of the students use that opportunity. Okay. Everybody else thinks, well, it's not compulsory. Yeah, the deadline is not really a deadline. I'm going to do it tomorrow, but actually they never do it. Okay? And they miss a fantastic opportunity to find out where they are and whether they're likely, to get a good mark on this module. So if you're offered that, please use it, because then you will get some feedback which you can use to improve. Okay? Exams and assignments. Again, the biggest the biggest tip that I would give you is turn up to the exam and do always attempt the assignment. Okay? But before we get to that point, make sure that you understand the assignment brief and the criteria well. Okay? If you don't understand it, you must ask your lecturer to explain. All the assignments should have an assessment criteria associated with them. And so many students set off and do an assignment without even checking what the assessment criteria is, which is not wise, because when a tutor assesses your work, they need to look, because we need consistency in assessment, they will look at the assessment criteria and they'll say they've met this one, this one, this one, this is the mark they're getting. Now, if you haven't ever looked at the assessment criteria, how likely are you to have met it? Okay? So do be careful about that. Make sure you understand what's expected in the exam, what is the criteria you've got to meet to pass that exam or assignment. You must engage with your assignments, you must. Often students will, I don't know, get distracted, have other priorities, they think that they'll miss the deadline, and they decide, well, I'm not going to submit at all, I'm going to use my next assessment opportunity. Don't miss any opportunity to pass a module. Please submit, okay? Attend exams, submit assignments. Now, if you have engaged with an assignment, for example, okay, and maybe you're only a few marks off the assignment, the pass mark. In some modules, you may be offered something called an in-module retrieval. So then they give you the opportunity to very quickly correct your work, and you still get a pass mark. It is capped at 50, but you don't have to do the referral, okay? So you're not pushed back to May. If you remember the beginning when I say that if it's a trimester 1 assignment, if you've submitted, but you haven't passed, and you're only a few marks off, if you've got an in-module retrieval in that module, you'll get an opportunity to make it right, and you'll pass without having to wait until May for the referral attempt. So this is a good tip. You only get that chance though if you've submitted. If you haven't submitted anything, you just get to the referral period, okay? Needless to say, if you've missed an assignment, an assessment attempt, be it an exam or an assignment submission, if you've got to go to the referral period, your marks are then capped. So they're capped at the pass mark. The final thing to say about exams and assessments, please do not engage in academic dishonesty. Okay? Academic dishonesty is easy to spot. It most often is always spotted. And in the least worst scenario, your marks will be significantly delayed, which then impacts on your ability to progress onto the next step. In the worst case scenario, some of the sanctions are very severe for academic dishonesty. Okay? Your course teams will tell you about this in the induction. I'm just going to mention a few things here. So, do not commit academic dishonesty. So things like plagiarism, collusion, contract cheating, using AI, artificial intelligence, is not permitted under the university's regulations. Okay? They are easily spotted. We've got software available to staff, but also the human eye can easily spot some elements of it. If you're suspected of having committed academic dishonesty, you're referred to an academic conduct panel. You normally get a 0 mark for that attempt. And like I said, in the least worst scenario, you'll have to submit in the next assessment period. but the sanctions can be a lot more severe, including being excluded or expelled from your course. Depending on when it happens, your marks are always delayed, because going through an academic, when you get referred to an academic conduct panel, you need to go through an investigation that takes time. So whatever the mark is, it will be delayed. Okay? That may mean that you may miss out on applying for the graduate immigration route if that happens at the end of your studies, and this is indeed what you want to achieve. Okay. Now, many students say, I panicked. I ran out of time. I didn't know what to do. I just spoke to some friends and I copied from their work. Okay? And it's, I'm not a bad person. I don't do this regularly, but I panicked. So the best way to avoid academic dishonesty is to work on your academic skills, to manage your time well, to be committed and to prioritize your studies, okay? If you always leave your academic tasks till the very end, if you've got other pressing priorities that always take top of the list, you will struggle, because you will end up in a position where I've got to submit something, what do I submit? So the temptation is a lot greater. So the best way to avoid dishonesty is to develop your academic skills and prioritize your academic study.